Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means I help you feel better and perform better. Today I want to teach you how to use the flow state as an introvert. Now you might not believe it, but I actually am an introvert, and you can see this from my very old videos on my other channel, Elevate, as well as you can understand that I've had to go through the process myself of becoming from introvert to more of an ambivert, and it's been a process, it's been a journey for sure, but I just want to really tackle some of the main issues here, like social anxiety, as well as having coached introverts into extroverts, or much more an ambivert personality type. I've understood where are the main blocks for people. So this is purely my opinion. You're going to have lots of videos out there about this trying to help you out, but this is just my personal take on it. So, take what I say with a grain of salt. And if it does resonate with you, definitely do reach out to me and let me know if it has. Having said that, let's get right into the video. So, first and foremost, a lot of people think of social networking. Instead of social networking, as an introvert, you kind of want to think of value networking, okay? So you want to basically spread a lot of value, you want to give a lot of value, all the things that you're holding back. Just practice speaking in front of a camera like I'm doing, right? I got super comfortable around a camera, and from there I started to take that same skill set and apply it to meeting people and resonating with others and just really being very, vulnerable. See, the thing is, as an introvert, you do have a skill set of observation, of intuition, and you understand that your internal world reflects into the external. So you are very in tune with other people's personalities and what they're feeling. And so by doing that, you're actually a very good listener. And as you become a good listener, you can actually use that skill set of listening and then reflecting back to the person what exactly they need to hear. Not oversharing, not talking so much like an extrovert does at times, but actually taking the time to pace yourself and say the right words that are actually going to hit. The very specific words that are actually going to hit. I think that's very important as a skill set. Another thing that you want to understand is, don't label yourself as an introvert. Even if you are, you're just sometimes going to get stuck to that label, or even if you're calling yourself shy. I've noticed this in myself. When I called myself shy, I would act much more shy. It was almost like I was trying to prove to myself my own personality in a way. So I would completely try and strip off that label and just think of it like it's just a tendency, it's an inclination, it's something that you go towards, but don't make it a part of your identity per se. It's not that you have a lack of ambition, it might just be that you're spreading yourself too thin. It's not that you need to be more disciplined, maybe you're spreading out all that discipline into different areas and your energy is sort of scattered. And as you bring that back and focus on one thing, it will really help you to gain that kind of extroversion again. I notice a lot of introverts, their thoughts are very, scattered. It's like all over the place, and it's tough to really, bring all those thoughts into and channel it into one stream and then have it come out of your mouth, right? So the thing is, I would definitely say, depending on your personality makeup, there's not one way to be successful, right? There's so many models out there, so many different things. There's, the horoscope, Myers-Briggs, all these different maps, and we have to try to figure out which combination of maps can help us to understand our own internal world and our own personality type and how we operate, right? So, for instance, Western medicine believes that, treats disease with a medicine, and it's kind of a disease-medicine relationship. However, in Ayurveda, we sort of look at the person, their height, their weight, their body size, and it's a very different kind of model. I mean, learn from everything, right? Learn from everything that you can. When you can actually tap into your passion and start speaking from a place of honesty and truth, I notice a lot of introverts, what we tend to do is we try to be somebody else. We try to put on this persona, we try to pretend to be somebody that we're not. And that doesn't really come across as very genuine, and it doesn't really get us a lot of, those true fans. It might get us a few, superficial fans that stick around for the hype, but it's not going to get us those true fans. So the more unsettled you feel within your own skin, that's going to transfer onto the people that you're talking to oftentimes. So the first thing you want to do is actually heal that relationship with yourself and understand, my internal world is to be understood. I'm not lost, I'm just going inwards, and I get energy from within. So find that stillness that you can actually tap into. You see, introverts get energy from within, extroverts get energy from the people around them. So if you aren't getting energy from the people around you, make sure that you're getting your energy from within. Find some time each day to go still and inwards and find the answers within. I think that is going to be very, very monumental in terms of your transformation and change. Introvert isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you prefer reading a book, if you prefer to stay in, that's great. That's the time where you're actually fully putting in the process and the work towards yourself to actually innovate and come up with new things and be super passionate and creative. So don't let anybody shame you for being that. And at the same time, you just want to work a little bit towards, getting rid of that fear of judgment, getting rid of that social anxiety, and all of those things sort of blocking you from actually being social. And I would definitely say that, have a mentor or have somebody who you train with who is a pure extrovert. And by doing that, you'll have a lot of their energy bounce off of them onto you. And that doesn't mean necessarily copy them, but get inspired by their energy, get inspired by the acceleration and the way that they're doing things very fast and rapid and really going for it. And I think that that's going to inspire you. Never make it this kind of comparison trap, and get jealous, oh man, that person's speaking so, profound and gesturally, and they're using all their hand gestures, and I'm not really doing that. I'm very quiet. I'm very monotone. Don't get trapped into that, because that's really just gonna kind of dilute your process in a sense. Instead, purely focus on what is it that you can do to solve this issue of not being able to speak up in public or not being able to have leverage over your words and passion. Expression isn't a very easy thing, especially if we've gone through many different traumas in life or different issues in life. Everybody goes through that, right? It's this kind of dysfunctional family issues or some trouble with your boss, whatever it is. What you really want to do is understand that you can learn how to fill a room if you are an introvert. It just takes time, it takes a process, and it's what you choose to do in that time. Don't ever worry about having a wrong or a right personality. Just worry about whether it's an effective personality or an ineffective personality. Maybe the you that you know to be true is that expansive, disciplined person who's just being social with people. And you know that in your heart of hearts, but still you're choosing to be this kind of quiet, shy person, which isn't truly aligned to your authentic self. With that, you've just got to figure out how awesome would it be when you finally do talk to that person and you put your focus on once you finally make that conversation happen, how good would it feel to actually do that and focus on that instead of spreading yourself thin and imagining all the possible catastrophes and consequences of you doing so. Oh man, it seems to me her boyfriend is standing there with her, I don't know if I should do, all of these different, scenarios which we create in our head that kind of split our minds into these various directions rather than being a single point of focus. My advice to introverts would be definitely to actually start to slowly apply all the wisdom, all the things you're consuming, all the knowledge, all the shows that you're watching, all the time that you spend in this internal world, and try and applying it into the physical realm more. So make a tweet about something that you think about, or try and start making YouTube videos like this, or try and put yourself into situations where you're just adding a lot of value. And from there, you'll start to notice your confidence and your extroversion and your need to express yourself to another human being as much more natural, because we are social beings. Sometimes we've just been conditioned not to be. Okay? So once you remove the conditioning and the layers and the additives and preservatives of your personality, then you can be your authentic self and speak from that pure place. If you are worried about speaking up in public and stuff, I do have a course. It's called Verbal Vinyasa. So if you click the link in the description, you can get access to that. Having said that, have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary.